All right, guys, I wanted to really quick hop on here and make a video basically teaching, not teaching, but helping you guys, to find people for your contact list. I've talked about this before, but I've never really made like a video. So I was like, maybe I should make a video to kind of make it a little bit more clear and more precise, and share my screen with you so you could see kind of how I do it every weekend. So hopefully this will help. So something that I do, and I use Google Streak to do it. So this is, again, another benefit of using Google Streak is that, we can set reminders to check in, with people. When it pops up, you get that email update. You're like, okay, interact with this person, invite this person, check in with this person. So what I do is I pick, and you can, if you're not using Google Streak, you can just do this in your own way. But there's maybe 4 or 5 girls on Instagram that, I invited to coaching a while ago, or you can find somebody who maybe has a ton of followers. You want to look for somebody that has 4 or 5 people, 4 or 5 Instagram pages that have a bunch of followers, like ridiculous amount of followers. They're already doing their thing, but they post health and fitness stuff, whether it's food or fitness or whatever it is. So you want to find those kind of people, and then at least once a week, I get a notification in Google Street because I put them in there as a contact. But instead of being interact with this person, I make it say go through followers. So what I mean by that is, and whether you do it through Google Streak or you just set a reminder to do it every week to go through the people that are on that page, you can figure out a way to do it. But what I do is I try to do a thing where I could share my phone screen with you, but I can't. So one of the girls I do is this girl, Blair. Where is her? She has 24,000 followers, but she gets a ton of likes on her pictures. So you also want people not just to have a lot of followers, but have a lot of engagement on their pictures, because then you'll have a lot of room to do what I'm going to teach you. So what I do is let's say, let's go to one of her pictures. This has, I thought she had more likes than that, but there are some people that have 1,600 likes, and that's really awesome. So, but okay, so this picture has 403, but you can go through any of them and I'll have a decent amount of followers. So what I do is I click, so I go to see the picture where it says the likes, and you can say, it says liked by, whoever, and then it says, and 347 others. So I click on the 347 others, and it gives me a list of all the people, but as you can see, it has a follow button next to all of them. So for some reason, I don't know if it's just the way Instagram is, but when it lists the people that like the picture, for some reason it seems like the top 10 or 15 are always Instagrams that are similar to the Instagram that I'm looking at. So if I'm looking at Blair's Instagram, and she has a lot of food pictures, a lot of fitness stuff, a lot of pretty stuff, a lot of stuff that's right up my alley, it seems like all the people, there's tons of people that like it, and I'm sure there's tons of people that don't even have a health and fitness account. They're just enjoying Instagram. But for some reason, when they list it, if you were to go to a skateboarding Instagram and you were to look at the top 10 or 15 people that liked it, guaranteed they would probably be all similar Instagrams to that Instagram. I don't know what that kind of rhythm or algorithm is or whatever it is, but that's just how Instagram does it. So the reason why I do this is because I'll go to 5 of her pictures and I'll literally just click follow. And I literally just follow the first 10 to 15 people of each picture. So each of the likes from that picture. Occasionally it'll say requested instead of following. So I'll unhit that button because I don't want to follow a private page. So I just go and I follow a bunch of people. And I do that once a week with a few different Instagrams. So some of the other people I have, they have a ton of Instagram followers. So whatever your niche is, you want to follow those kind of people. So if you're mom, do it with a mom Instagram that has a ton of mom, would have a ton of mom followers. If you are somebody who is really into yoga, do a yoga Instagram that probably has a lot of yoga people, whatever it is. So I do that so I can build up the amount of people that I am personally following. I don't care if people follow me back. It doesn't matter. I just follow all these people. So then, and I just do that once a week. So then when it comes to the weekend and I build my contact list, because I tell you guys, always build your contact list before the week starts. So when it comes to the weekend, what I do, and I'm going to share my screen with you, is I go to my Instagram page on my desktop. So I don't do anything on my phone. So what I do is, and this can be kind of tricky, but I found a way to pretty much make it work. So then I go and I hit open link in new tab to show me the people that I'm following. So all those people that I followed in the past week, and if you're caught up with it, you know, I mean, I have 1,800 followers. I didn't follow 1,800 people just last week, but I probably followed anywhere from like 100, you know, to 150 new people. So it brings me the list of people that, oh, okay, let me just click it then, I guess. So you just click it. So then it brings up the people that you're following. So what I do, because I never can like get through everybody because I'm always following new people. So what I do is I keep scrolling. Like you can hit the space bar or I mean, whoa, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So you can just keep hitting it and just use your mouse pad and just scroll to the bottom. So what I do to find out where I was last, and this is just one of my quirky ways of doing things. In Trello, that's my contact list that I'm building right now. So you guys can see I actually do it too. So I keep a thing in Trello. And again, you can do this in whatever kind of like organization system you have. I love Trello. So I have over here where I left off on my new followers. So last week when I built my contact list, I left off on this person. So what I do is I put that person there. So last week, once I was done and I had like my, 30 to 60 contacts, I was like, okay, where did I leave off? So I put this girl's Instagram. And so I know when I come back to it next week, when I go to look at my followers, it takes a little bit to do this, just to scroll, but it's like mindless. Just scroll until you get there. So you just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And then what I do is a lot of times I'll recognize names that I just did last week, because if you're doing it every week, like you'll recognize it. So a lot of times, like I'll keep, like it takes a while to scroll because I follow a ton of people. But once you get caught up and you're adding like a bunch of people each week, you'll eventually not have to scroll so much. But I just keep scrolling for a while because I know it's going to be to the bottom. But once I think it's getting close, you can hit Control F and it'll bring this here, and you can hit paste, and then you can hit enter. And if you can't find it yet, you need to keep searching down into your followers, if that makes sense. So I just keep doing it. I keep scrolling until I can hit it again, until it comes up. Now that sometimes will take a while, but once you're there, you're there. So then what I do is, you can see I already have been doing this. So I've literally been doing this for the past 45 minutes because I want to be able to build a really big contact list right now, because I have really big goals right now. So I go and I look, and like, let's say it said the girl made to order. So I as you can see, I put hers because I know I already like looked at her, page. So then what I do is I go to the last person I left off, and then I just hit right click, open link in new tab, right click, open link in new tab, and I open each person's Instagram, like for as much as you can see here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I do like about 8 people. And again, as you can see here, I have all these people open. So then what I do is I'm going through, I go through each person's thing. I quickly look at them. So I'm going to do this with you and show you guys what I literally have been doing for the past 45 minutes. So I already did this girl. So I'm going to keep following her, and I'm going to exit out of her. Okay, so next person. So she says she's plant-based. I try to not do too many people that just post food stuff, because sometimes they don't like, they like in terms of like coaches, because they like, if they're only posting food stuff, the probability of them being willing to start posting about fitness stuff, if they started coaching, is lower. But if I really like the page, then I'll put them in my list of challengers. So as you can see, I have a list. These are people who are just going to be like challenger type of people I'm going to build a relationship with, and then invite to a clean eating group, and then invite to a challenge group. Then I also, because supposedly it's not necessarily proven yet, but we definitely are going international, but they haven't announced the country. So honestly, if I'm ever going through these people and I happen to find anybody that's in the UK, but it's also like a fitness person, I'll put their name in here, and I'm going to put them in my Google Streak. So I have them. So when I go, I can go to my Instagram contacts. And again, if you're a newer coach and you're watching this and you have no idea what Google Streak is, there's a video in the files tab that shows you what Google Streak is. But so I go in there, and like, as you can see, I've already found some people. These are people that I found separately. I don't know if we'll ever go. I mean, I'm sure we'll go international to like Mexico and Australia, but I put them in there anyway. So I put their Instagram handle in there, and then I put international and then UK for all of these people that I find, because then when we go international, I'm just going to start building relationships with those people, but I'm already getting ahead of the game. So I have those people, and then I have people who I'm looking for coaches. So I'm really looking for coaches most of the time. So I have a bigger list. So then once I see the person, so like this person, so she's really posting food. I've already had enough people today that I really found posting food. So I'm just going to unfollow her. If I don't add them to my contact list, I unfollow them. This guarantees that that number next to my Instagram where it says like right now I'm following 1,800 people, because I'm always following like 100 new people each week. That guarantees that like 3 months down the road, I'm not following 22,000 people. You know what I mean? So I unfollowed her, close out. So let's keep going. So she's from Alaska, married. So she's posting a picture of her. She's posting food. She's posting her kid. It doesn't look like she's posting too much health and fitness, so I don't think I'll do her. But if you were a mom, you could totally go for it. If it's somebody who like has the exact Instagram I'm looking for, but doesn't necessarily meet my niche, I'll still add them to my list. But if it's somebody who doesn't meet my niche and they're not really posting Instagrams or the kind of stuff that I'm looking for, I just don't do them. I'll like save them for another coach. So I'll unfollow her. So health and wellness. And I always look in the bio first. I look to see if they're in the US, because sometimes it'll say UK or whatever. Other times it'll, say that like no sales or something like that. So I'm not even going to bother with those people. So I just try to check the bio first, and then I scroll to look at their page. So she's not really posting anything important. So I'm going to unfollow her. She was a private page anyway. I don't know if I followed her. So that happened. And sometimes you'll get pages like this where, because you're just going to quick follow people, and that's the great thing about being able to build your contact list that way, is because you're following a ton of people. You're not always going to follow pages that you want, but you don't have to sit there and look through each person and follow the person just because they're, health and fitness person. I just quickly go through that. And then this process, so I kind of kill two birds with one stone. So while I'm building my contact list, I'm also unfollowing all the people that I didn't need to follow in the first place. So I unfollow that person. So Eat Chickpeas, so this is a restaurant, not going to follow them, but it looks really good. Woman, child. So this girl's into cycling. I kind of like to look at the person, not that I'm judging somebody on how they look, but if they don't look like they're my vibe or whatever, then you don't have to work with them. So look, and another thing you want to do too is see the last time she posted. So look, this is only like right here. I mean, this is the beginning. Like this should be like 5 days ago. She posted this 3 weeks ago. So another thing, if she's not really posting that often, in terms of coaches. Now, challengers doesn't really matter as much because you can still build a relationship with somebody even if they don't post a lot. But coaches, if I'm going to add somebody to my coach list, that person needs to be posting often because I just want them to be in the habit of already doing it anyway. So I'm going to unfollow her. So creating plant-based, delicious, and mostly healthy meals. So she's pretty much just food. So she has 123 followers though, so she doesn't have that many followers. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add her to my regular contact list. So these are the people who I'm just gonna invite to a clean eating group. Okay, so let's keep going. So this girl's a personal trainer, holistic health coach, yoga teacher. Now that sounds like somebody who'd be a really great coach. I'm just gonna go for it. I don't know. It's not, when people are personal trainers or yoga teachers, they're not always, they don't always want to coach, but it's always worth a try. I'd rather message her and ask and she say no than never even give it a try. And then that's really pretty much what I do. And then I go back, because that's usually the last person I left off will be highlighted. So then I go, oh no, this person was. So then I just go and I keep going. So then I do, this is taking a little bit because I'm doing Zoom, so it's lagging. That person's, if you ever see somebody and they're obviously not like a fitness Instagram, well, if it's just a name, don't assume, but like this person obviously speaks a different language. Like there's no way I would even do that. So, and then I just keep going. And then wherever I leave off, like let's say, okay, I leave off with this person, I'll make sure that I look at her page so that I know whether I'm going to add her to the contact list or I'm going to get rid of her and unfollow her. And then I'll copy her name, go here, because I just have a specific list here. And then I would change it to, well, that's the other girl that I copied, but then I would copy and paste and be like, already did. So then when I go back to do this process, I just can repeat everything. So I don't know if that makes sense, guys. I know sometimes the way I do stuff is quirky and weird, but I feel like it's so easy for me to create contact lists. I also make sure that like I'm still picking certain hashtags that I know I want to look at. Like I am certified IIN coach. So for me, finding coaches is great through that hashtag because I can connect with people through the fact that they went to IIN. A lot of people want to start a business through health coaching, but they don't know where to get started. So I talk to them about Beachbody coaching. So you still want to make sure that you're picking some hashtags and going through there and finding some people. If you find a hashtag that you usually can find, like you're good at like finding people, then go for it. That's really how I do stuff. If you have any questions or if it doesn't make sense, just let me know. Because I know that some of the stuff I do can be confusing. So just let me know and I will help you out. And if you like tag all your coaches, like I feel like everybody needs to see this. I'm always trying to find like the best way for you guys to find people. And the other thing is still make sure that this isn't the only way you find people. Like you should still be looking for people through Facebook groups, through Facebook friends, through blogs, Tumblr, Pinterest, whoever else. Don't just stick to Instagram. Like you have to branch out. You have to. But this is, you know, pretty much the way I create my content. So I hope that was helpful, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Another thing I wanted to add, guys, is again, for most of you who are watching this, you already know the process that I teach everybody that your coach may have taught you about, you know, the ADOS formula or whatever you want to call it, you know, finding these people, adding them to your contact list, and then sending them a message just to build a relationship, and then invite them to a clean eating, invite them over to Facebook, invite them to a clean eating group, invite them to a challenge group. Because everybody's always worried about sending those invites, and you're always, you know, how do I move the relationship, you know, to health and fitness, or how do I move the conversation to health and fitness? But it doesn't have to be that way. It's just becoming friends with these people and getting to know them, and then be like, oh, hey, by the way, like, I don't know if you'd be interested in a clean eating group, but blah, 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 blah. So what I do is I also keep my messages that I send people to in this little Trello thing. So these are pretty much the same, but I have ones I send for quote unquote potential coaches. Still same idea. It's just like, hey, you know, your page is dope. Love everything you're doing. Yeah, I love spreading positivity, blah, blah, blah. So what I do is I just make sure that I have, I copy and paste these. So I'll copy this and then I'll put it at the top of my possible coach list. And then I'll do the same with the challenge group people message. And then, so once you have that, you can go in and just send this message to everyone on your list. Now, I've talked about this before, but Instagram only lets you do so many at a time. So I think it only lets you do like 12 at a time. And then it like looks at your account as spam. It doesn't shut it down. It just will give you like a red exclamation point, and you know that you can't do it. But if you're doing this on the weekend, like I make my contact list and then I message everybody the same day. Now you can do 12 a day if you want. So by the end of the week, you've messaged all your people. Or you can do all in one day. I like to do it all in one day because I like to get it out of the way. But whatever way you do it, if you do it all in one day, you just might have to like do it every hour or something like that, or whatever. Whatever works for you, but you can do it, you know, each day. For most of you, you'll probably want to do it each day, but I just wanted to make sure that you added that to your thing. So awesome. Peace.